Declaring the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives to be vacant. This is the uniparty for the American people watching.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, the reactionary and repugnant Republican Congresswoman, is apparently ready to go down with the ship, attempting to remove yet another Speaker of the House. This time it's MAGA Mike Johnson. Her attempt to remove MAGA Mike Johnson going down in flames. Why does she want to remove yet another Speaker of the House? Well, she feels, I don't know if there's evidence, she feels that MAGA Mike Johnson is more working with Democrats in the House than Republicans, willing to work with Democrats to pass Ukraine aid, for example, something that Marjorie Taylor Greene is against. But alas, the House has blocked the resolution, and many of Marjorie Taylor Greene's colleagues on the Republican side of the aisle, not pleased with her. Here she is introducing the motion to vacate the speakership, and she is booed even by her own Republican colleagues. Take a listen to this.
I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows.
Right.
Declaring the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives to be vacant. This is the uniparty for the American people watching.
Gentlelady will suspend. Order. Order. The gentlewoman from Georgia is recognized.
Whereas the House Republican Conference elected Mike Johnson on October 25th, 2023, after 3.5 weeks of trying to decide on a new Speaker of the House.
Mr. Speaker, the House is not in order.
All right. So long story short, she introduced this as a privileged resolution, meaning that it either must be defeated or brought up for a vote within 2 legislative days. And indeed, the House very quickly voting to table the resolution, to table the motion, rather. And it failed completely. 196 Republicans, 163 Democrats joining to end this nonsense. And here is that moment.
On this vote, the yeas are 359, the nays are 43, with 7 answering present. The motion is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
All right. So cheers, because it was indeed defeated. This is the latest attempt from Marjorie Taylor Greene to, I guess, kind of like out MAGA in some sense. MAGA Mike Johnson, of course, making every attempt to ingratiate himself with Donald Trump, even making a pilgrimage down to Mar-a-Lago a few weeks ago, and Trump looking a little bit distant, I would say, from MAGA Mike during that appearance. And Trump, interestingly, actually waited to see whether this would fail or not before weighing in on it and putting out some generic statement I won't even bore you with about Marjorie Taylor Greene is great, but blah, 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 blah. So listen, I think that there is an attempt being made here. The value of Marjorie Taylor Greene in the House of Representatives is greatly diminished. There was a time before Lauren Boebert was a complete and total joke, when Lauren Boebert was only 90% of a joke as opposed to 100% of a joke. And MAGA Republican Madison Cawthorn was in the House, and there was a bit more strength between the House MAGA movement. It genuinely did appear as though maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene was latching on to some kind of pseudo grassroots contingent, the contingent that ousted Kevin McCarthy from the speakership. But now, particularly with a diminished MAGA movement, with a diminished Trump, while at the same time splitting MAGA, because you've got the non-MAGA part of the House Republicans, then you have the MAGA people that are behind Mike Johnson, and then you have this anti-Mike Johnson sub-MAGA wing. It's all kind of a mess, and just a reminder that taxpayer money, my taxpayer money, yours, your neighbors, all of our taxpayer money is going to this sort of nonsense. And so part of what's on the ballot in November, it is MAGA Trumpism more broadly, and quite literally, it's also Trump himself. But it's also very important to remember that it's this entire package of doing nothing but grandstanding at great expense, wasting my money, flushing my money down the toilet, and flushing your money down the toilet. I'm going to be voting against it in November. You vote however you want. It is time to start thinking like voters and to make sure that kids understand the importance of voting, how it works, registering, ballot initiatives, because so many kids just have no idea. That's why I wrote the new children's book, Think Like a Voter. I can think of no better time and no more important group of folks to try to reach. The book is now available at davidpakman.com/book, where, by the way, you can get the first 2 books in the series as well. Think Like a Detective and Think Like a Scientist. Really important stuff. Donate them to local libraries, classrooms, read them with the kids. davidpakman.com/book.